2024 edition, 102.5, 106.3, The Game. JoJo, what is up? Where are we today? This is your gym.
That's the best gym around. We're at Competitive Edge Strength and Conditioning in Hermitage, 3317 Lebanon Pike or Lebanon Road for all those that grew up here. I don't know when the Pike came in part of this. But anyway, stop by. We got Preds tickets we're going to be giving away. We'll talk to Mark Johnson, the owner, a little bit and kind of get you fired up to get your fitness goals in 2024. Better place to go and do that is at my home gym because, and as you hear the commercial runs, man, this place has really had a positive impact on my life. And we'll talk more about that during the show. So we're excited to be here today.
Yeah, well, for sure excited to be here. And, you know, it's funny. Some of my friends were like, hey, you need to – on Tuesday you need to hit the gym. You need to make sure you go to the gym. I go, well, I am. I'm going to be there at 9 o'clock. I am at the gym. So there you go.
Well done. Yeah, the hardest part of going to the gym is getting to the gym, and you've made it here. And so – we're done at 11. I think you're going to lead us in a Zumba workout for about 30 minutes. So I look forward to that. So way to go, Chase.
Do they have that here? Is that something they offer?
They do now with you.
Nice. Well, looking forward to it for sure. We had a fun day of college football yesterday, starting with, you had LSU and Wisconsin and the ReliQuest Bowl.
Good game.
LSU ends up winning that game. I think everybody around here, of course, is talking about the Citrus Bowl with the Vols 35-0. What a day. Well, it wasn't the debut for Nico, but, first start looked really, really good.
Well, and that's a really good Iowa defense they played yesterday, too. But, speed. They did this. Tennessee and Iowa played again in the 2014, I think it was the Gator Bowl, and same result. Speed just decimates, and speed kills. And yesterday you saw that, and Tennessee was the far physical team, and Nico looked great, and now the talk begins. I've already saw the Nico for Heisman, and I love it. Why not? Just go ahead. If that makes you happy, talk about Nico like that, put it out there, and that's wonderful. But, Chase, I think to a larger degree, it might have been the greatest day of college football we've ever seen. And I mean that. But look at both games last night.
Yeah, the games were
amazing.
Fantastic. Well, here's what I think I will say about the Alabama-Michigan game. For a while I kind of thought it was boring, but then when I go back and I look at it, I realize that it really wasn't.
No,
it was a defensive battle. You had some mistakes from both sides,
right? And
then you get the result of overtime. And if I am Nick Saban, I left my offensive coordinator in Pasadena for the play calls on that second possession in overtime.
So I went and listened to the press conference, and I went back and I watched that play over and over again. It's actually an okay call, right, if executed properly. The problem was the right guard with the kick-out block missed the guy completely, and he blocked a ghost. He went upfield, blocked a ghost. That made the outside linebacker turn in. And so I think Milroe also panicked a little bit when the snap was low. But to a larger degree, you've known me for years, throw the ball into the end zone.
Yeah, that's my problem. It's not just that one particular play. Everybody's going to focus on that one particular play, and I get it. But I thought after they got the first down, the whole sequence, you have 4 downs. You are in perfect territory.
Right.
And you're just running the same stuff, basically.
Yeah.
There was no creativity. Michigan has a really, really good defense. And I felt like you just didn't respect that at that point.
Well, that's a play you run in the third quarter because the Michigan, they had 6 guys, I think, in the box, and you try to jump them all in there, and you run on the outside there. But the low snap got to him. But, again, prime example, people, Titans Super Bowl, right? Throw the ball into the end zone, not at the 2-yard line where you get tackled. Get the ball into the end zone. And I think Alabama, the offensive coordinator, I think he failed at that moment in that game, and that'll be talked about for a long time.
Yeah, it will for sure. So Michigan wins 27-20. They'll advance to the national championship. And then we got, the final edition of Pac-12 After Dark, because that's basically what it was.
Right. It's a great game, man.
Kickoff at 8:30 almost.
Yeah,
so
right.
Just after 8. So it was a late one, but I stayed up watching it. Michael Penix is fun to watch, and his story's great. He's at Indiana and then goes to Washington, and I was seeing a bunch of tweets last night. How come he didn't win the Heisman? And I think there was an argument for Jaden Daniels, and he ultimately ends up winning it. But Penix looked really, really good. Washington wins 37-31, but, it was the old announcer jinx when McDonough said that, hey, it looks like that's about it. And then all of a sudden Texas gets another possession and was in position to win the ball game in the closing seconds. And I thought yours led a really nice drive downfield. They Washington shot themselves in the foot a little bit on some things. And they were right there, but ultimately Washington was able to get the stop and advance. And I will be the first to admit there were some people on Twitter that, when I asked the question, do you care about the national championship, thought I was dumb for asking that question.
Right. That's a good point. I mean, I was curious.
Yeah, I think it's a curious question, but I was wrong. And I will admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong about Washington. I did not think Washington was going to hang. I thought that Washington – now, look, we saw this with TCU last year, that TCU ends up beating Michigan. They go to the championship, and then they get boat raced by Georgia. So, it very well could be Michigan is on a mission and, could boat race Washington, or Washington could boat race Michigan.
No, I totally
it could certainly go either way. But
don't compare.
I think we're going to see a good game.
Don't compare Washington to TCU. The TCU, I know they won the game last year, but they got lightning in the bottle for one game. And now the Washington receivers don't drop any passes, man. Those guys caught everything. And it was a great performance by Washington. I mean, Texas would come back, then Washington go out and score. So it set up two really good football games last night. And the question is, I mean, we're stuck in SEC country, which is fantastic, but do you care about now the national championship with, Michigan and Washington now that the South, by the SEC basically, is out of the tournament? Do you care? And I do, because I love college football, but I think not a lot of people, but I think some be like, nah, I'm good, because there's no representation from the league in the national championship for the first time since 2014.
Right. Bradford on our text line, 615-737-1025, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. If I was Nick Saban, I would have left my center in Pasadena, too. Those low snaps killed the quarterback's timing. I mean, I think it was high pressure for everybody.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And so now you just, and the thing about Alabama was, look, we remember they were, 1-1, and, people like, oh, they're done, and to rally back and to beat Georgia, and they did win the SEC championship. I mean, They did. I know the goal was the national championship, but it was still a great season and a great coaching job by Nick Saban and Alabama.
Yeah, I think college football got what they wanted with the 14 playoff, and now we'll see what it looks like with the 12-team playoff. I mean, I've always been pro-expansion. I think 12 is too many, but I always thought that 4 was too few, and 12 would be too many. And so I think that it's probably the right move to expand, but I think that 6 or 8 would have been the sweet spot. But we'll find out what it looks like. I mean, I went to the Peach Bowl on Saturday in Atlanta between Penn State and Ole Miss. Ole Miss wins that game, but that's probably 2 playoff teams next year. If you think about it, I think two losses, especially if you're in the Big Ten and the SEC with the expansion that they're going through, you probably get in. So, certainly going to be interested.
I'm not going to comment. I mean, of course, you know me. I'm not a fan of that, but I'm not going to comment again until we see it all plays out. I mean, they were like, well, if Tennessee would have been in there, they would have run pretty good with Nico. I mean, we don't. I mean, it's hypotheticals left and right what happens, but now it is. They'll expand and they'll expand again because 2 more teams will be upset they're left off and go on and on and on. So we'll see what happens, but let's just take kind of look back and be proud of what the 2 games yesterday were, and hopefully sets up for a great national championship. And Tennessee Vol fans are happy because of Nico and how they played yesterday. So, look, it's January 2nd. We're already getting ready for the next season in the SEC. And you welcome Texas and Oklahoma. So there's a lot to look forward to and a lot to be happy about.
Yes, indeed. So we'll take your calls and your texts today on the national championship. What is your interest level in the national championship? 615-737-1025 as Michigan will take on Washington. So it is number 1 versus number 2 in the national championship next Monday, which we'll have on our airwaves. And also we will definitely dive into Tennessee as they move into the Nico era officially. as he took over and was the starter, looked very good in their win over Iowa, 35-0 on New Year's Day. Much more to get into for sure, and also the Titans.
Right.
They lose again, and one more.
One more to go.
One more, and then who knows what it looks like in the offseason.
But a chance to play spoiler.
Yeah, chance to play spoiler, and I think there'll be guys. Look, to me, the interest level, the intrigue about the Titans game is that it's probably going to be the last time you see Derrick Henry in a Titans uniform.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And I think that will get people's interest and probably get people to go to the game because you want to be able to say that you saw Derrick in his last game.
I'd say run him, let him have the ball 40 times, man. Let him go out in a blaze of glory if this is what it's going to be.
100%. We are live today at Competitive Edge here in, is it Hermitage?
Hermitage, yeah. 3317 Lebanon Pike and Hermitage. Get your new year, Chaser.
New year,
Get out and get working, and we'll talk to the owner of the gym, Mark Johnson, at 9:45 about what all is going on here and how you can be part of this great place.
Chase and Big Joe, we are presented by Regal Realty Group here on 102.5, 106.3, The Game. Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game, live today, Competitive Edge here in Hermitage on Lebanon Pike. Come by and see us. A lot of people in here working out right now. I hope we're adding to their workout, by giving them a live, radio show.
Yeah,
the
making
audience
people
here.
feel good about them. They should feel good about themselves to hear working out.
Hey, you all are
today.
doing great. Good job.
Yeah, well done, everybody. Packed out. Yeah, we're excited about this. 3317 Lebanon Road in Hermitage. Come by and say hi, and then register for some Pred tickets giveaways, some other things that are going on too as well. So a lot of fun. So our question today is, with the national championship not having 0 SEC teams for the first time since 2014, and we're down in SEC country, do you care about the national championship now? I mean, because this is the first time in nearly 10 years where there's not representation from the SEC, and I want to know. I mean, I do because I love college football, but the ones who are just a little bit more than casual, do you care about it?
Yeah, and I think I do. I'm intrigued. Sure, I've grown up in SEC country. I definitely have an SEC bias. I'm an SEC fan. I'm not an Alabama fan. I wasn't necessarily cheering for Alabama. I thought Alabama was going to win, and I was wrong. I thought Texas was going to win, and I was wrong. And so, that is what it is. But I am intrigued by the matchup. I think Michigan, obviously, they have their own storyline. Jim Harbaugh has a really, really big chip on his shoulder. And, the question is, win or lose this game, is he the head coach at Michigan next year, or does he bolt to the NFL because of, I know he served a suspension, but, you have to figure more is coming at some point with everything, with their Spygate deal that they went through. So I think there's a lot of intrigue there. And then you got Penix and the Washington Huskies that, are basically just riding that, hey, nobody believed in us, watch this, hold my beer.
They've done quite well.
And they've gotten to the national championship.
Yeah, Washington won the title. I think 91. I think they shared it with Miami in 91. And, of course, Michigan won it in 97. So both teams have been to the promised land, and we will see what happens. But I think it'd be a good game. But, go back to last night, that Rose Bowl. I mean, you thought Alabama got that momentum in the second half. Then Michigan had that great drive down the field, dinking and dunking and being excited and different plays and kind of not just going up the middle of the field and putting Alabama on their heels. And then Bama, I just thought in the overtime they had no confidence in Milroe. That's what I kind of gathered from Alabama in the overtime.
Yeah, it was conservative play calling, I think.
Yep.
I think that's probably how I would put it. But feel free to weigh in our question, how much interest do you have in the national championship? Marlon from Murfreesboro, I think it will be a lower rating, but I'll be happy to see Michigan win and have it stripped in 2 years with Harbaugh going to the Chargers next year.
That was a lot of people were seeing that last night across the channels about, hey, it'll be vacated in a couple of years with all that goes on, but nothing you do about it now. Just go out and play football. I'm saying a lot of people are rooting for Washington just because of that.
Yeah.
We really have no dog in the fight.
1423 says, Chase, I think you need to acknowledge how wrong you were about the Alabama-Michigan game. You said Alabama was going to blow Michigan out of the water, and that didn't happen anywhere close. You're right. I'm 100% wrong.
I said it too. A lot of people said that.
I think I was more on. I thought Texas would blow out Washington, and I was definitely wrong. I was wrong on both. I mean, I'll admit it. I was wrong on both.
Right.
There's nothing.
Well, the majority of people thought Alabama was going to roll because of where they played down the stretch. This knocked off the best team in the country in Georgia, right? And Michigan went into the championship by beating Iowa, which is like, okay, no big deal. Tennessee dismantled Iowa yesterday. So it was one of those things where you feel like Alabama had all that going in the game. But early on, just the Michigan's game plan to put pressure on Milroe, and it paid off big time. And, of course, the bad snaps all throughout the game. As Titans fans, y'all should know what bad snaps are because you've seen them all year long. But give it to me. Look, there's a lot of credit needs to go to Michigan for winning that game. And we're talking about how Alabama blew it in that last play, and they did. But a lot of credit goes to Michigan getting the ball first in overtime and scoring, and then forcing Alabama to get in the end zone. They couldn't do it.
Jeff basically just said that watching Alabama's O-line let the Michigan defense rush right through to repeatedly sack Milroe. Thought I was watching the Titans game.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I just thought that was kind of the theme, like let's let Jalen Milroe kind of manage this game in overtime for us and get the hands in the playmakers. But, that last call is going to be talked about for a long, long time.
Dylan, I think this is a shot at me. Everyone's happy when Alabama loses the same way everyone's happy when the Cowboys lose. The world is healing. Take that a little personal, Dylan.
Are we going to – I mean, how –
Oh, we're going to talk about it.
The Cowboys game?
We're going to talk about it.
Now the Lions are being charged with deception because he sent over 3 linemen or something, and that was –
Yeah, I
watched it. I rewatched it. I still don't know what went on. It's crazy.
So I think a lot of things – I mean, we can talk about it now. I think a lot of things are at play here. I think that, one, the officiating crew was awful. I think – and Brad Allen, like his crew has a history of not being very good and missing stuff. I mean, they missed a call. You know, everybody was like, oh, the Cowboys only had the ball for 24 seconds before they had to punt it away. Well, they missed a call on that series where there was a run that was negated because they called it on a Cowboy when really it should have been on a Lion.
Right.
And so they screwed that up. And then the whole thing with they just got confused. I don't know if it was deception by Dan Campbell on the line. I mean, he was pretty quick to like not want to talk about it. So at first, and then they sent 3 guys up there, which I mean I guess all 3 can be eligible if you're going to line them up in different positions. But
there's a lot of I don't knows on this, and I thought I knew football well.
Yeah.
So if 68's not eligible, then why does he go over? Because
Right.
Goff pushes him over to the referee.
Sure.
And then 70's the one that's supposed to be checking in. So there's a lot. So you can look at the deception thing like, yeah, that's kind of okay.
But hypothetically, you could put in 3 offensive linemen as 3 tight ends, right? As long
I don't
as
think you can, right?
You can't?
I don't.
Okay.
Well, they can't go out for a pass. I mean, I really don't know that rule. That's crazy.
See, clearly I don't either. Because, like, I look at it as, okay, as long as you have 11 guys and they're all lined up where they're supposed to be, doesn't matter what position that they technically play.
As long as you got 7 men on the line of scrimmage and then 5 are ineligible for passes and then the other 5 can go, or, this one got those to himself, 6 go out there. That's just a crazy rule. And then but I love the play call, man. If everything stood, that's a great – throwing back to a lineman in the corner of the end zone was great. Right. Now, I thought he was a bonehead move by not kicking the extra point, but – that's all going to be debated down the line and see what happens. Yeah. That's just crazy. I mean, and I'm not sure anybody knows exactly what's going on with all that.
No. Drew says Alabama center looked atrocious. Good thing he's a senior. He looked atrocious all year. Titans will probably draft him in the first round.
Oh, could you imagine? Oh my
boy.
Goodness.
Steven from Hendersonville says, yes, I'm excited about the title game. Bama, UGA, and every other SEC team could go to hell for all I care. The Vols do not get to hang championship banners when other SEC teams win.
Yeah, so that's another great question. Again, I mean, if you're a Tennessee fan, don't you love seeing Alabama get beat?
Sure. Yeah, because look, the age-old debate is if your team's not in it, do you pull for the conference? And I don't. I'm one of those that I will find a team in the game that I kind of end up going for, and since I made the pick that I thought that Alabama would win, I thought Texas would win. Obviously, I'm going.
A lot of people did
for my pick.
Yeah,
and wager.
And it didn't happen, but I just think if you're a Tennessee fan, you love what you saw Alabama getting beat. That's just the way. That's just the nature of competitive. Competition, and you see them get beat, and that's like, all right, move on. But a lot of people don't like Harbaugh, so there's a lot of drama involved in these games. And I think the Washington team is might be the Cinderellas in all of this because there's the unknown team from up in Seattle and the damage they're doing so far.
Shane says, as long as you have 11 guys and are not covered up, which was not then, you can have 10 report eligible if you want. Not all will be eligible, but they can report. And he was not covered up, so it was legal.
Okay. That's like reading the terms and conditions on my Apple phone. After the first sentence, I'm like, all right, just accept yes. Just crazy, but we'd never seen that before.
The Lions coach didn't help anything. What? Oh, he's saying he should have kicked. Well, that's the other thing, too. Like, don't you think by the 3rd time that you're having to attempt this that's the football gods telling you to kick the point?
Right. So they moved back to the 8, and then Parsons jumped off, and they went back to the 4, and they tried it again. Yeah, it should have kicked the extra point from the 8-yard line. And is that right? Yeah, from the 8. Yeah,
yeah,
and then,
just take it at that point.
Yep.
Like, I mean, whether it was right or wrong on the call, like, you didn't get it, and so now you got to try from way back at the 8. So why not just take the point and then go to overtime?
Yeah, and I agree with the original call. I mean, that's the argument we get to all the time is like, look, you got your guys on the 3-yard line with one chance to win the game. I know there was a little time left on the clock for Dallas. I get all that stuff, but you can still get the lead and put your defense out there. Go for 2. Get the win. Go for the win at that moment. Believe in your guys to do that. I will die on that hill for always going for 2, because do not let them get the ball back. If they get the ball back, have them make sure there's very little time left on the clock, but believe in your team to stop them.
Yep, 100%. Coming up next, we'll shift gears. We'll get into some hockey with our man Hal Gill. Predators back in action tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks at Bridgestone Arena. We are live at Competitive Edge here on Lebanon Pike in Hermitage, but Nick Frazier, Dr. Crane back at the Spring Hill Heating and Cooling Game Nashville Studios, keeping your home feeling comfortable all year round. Visit springhillac.com. Excited to have them on board with us as our studio sponsors. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. 1025, 1063, The Game, live today at Competitive Edge on Lebanon Pike. We're giving some stuff away, JoJo.
We got pairs of hockey tickets for this Thursday and for next Tuesday. So stop by and say hi. 3317 Lebanon Pike here in Hermitage, Lebanon Road, Pike, whatever. It's in Hermitage. You know where it is. So stop by, and we're till 11 o'clock today. And so getting your new year off right, man. Get to the gym, get those goals going. And I'm not a big resolution guy because they're always get broken. I'm a more like just get off your butt and go get it done. But, yeah, this is a fantastic gym. It's where I come probably 7 times a week, man, and got a boxing class here, and it's had a positive impact on my life, and I know it will for others who come by.
Yeah, now I see the bags here. So do you like to work the hanging bags? Or
Heck yeah, man. Cardio boxing class 3 nights a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And, look, I've dropped 60 pounds, and a large part of this is because of this gym. Eating right's good, but the boxing class is fantastic, man.
Well, definitely come by, say hi, register to win those tickets. And
if you want to go 3 rounds with me, we can do it during the break.
And go 3 rounds with JoJo.
Yeah.
So if they last the 3 rounds, is that how they win the tickets?
No. If I last the 3 rounds, I get the tickets. That's how it works today. That's the only way it works. But we'll talk to Mark Johnson, the owner, in a little bit about this is a locally owned gym. There's none of that dumb pizza party that happens at other gyms. I mean, you come in here and you get to work.
Let's go to the phones and talk to Hal Gill. I know Hal knows how to box a little bit. Skillsy on the line with us as the Predators back in action tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks. Happy New Year, Hal.
Happy New Year, guys.
So the Predators trying to get after it tonight. They get the shootout win in Washington after falling in OT Friday night in Detroit. So you'll take those points, though, that you got on the 2-game road trip.
Yeah, I think they were pretty upset that they didn't get 2 points in Detroit. I thought they played a solid game, and I think they probably deserved more than just 1 point, but I think it fired them up for the next game. I thought they came out with a lot of pop against the Capitals, and they didn't quite finish the game the way they wanted to, but I think that start that they had was more of the way they should be playing hockey, and then they found a way to win at the end. It was kind of a crazy game and fun for Skarov to get that win against Ovechkin and all that. So it was a good story, good way to finish off the year, and now you get a little break and you get right back at it.
Yeah, exactly. And Andrew Brunette, what I like about Bruno is how honest he is about where the team is at this current time. And, they do find themselves, competing for a playoff spot. You got to like some of the ways that they've played and the wins that they've had. But, he continues to send the message of, hey, we're not done. This is a work in progress, especially with some of these young guys. What else do you want to see from the young players specifically, Hal, as they go into the new year?
Yeah, I think there's after that Detroit game, he had all the young guys went on the ice the next day before the Capitals game. They all went on a morning skate. I think the message was kind of sent like, hey, nothing's going to be given to you. You're going to have to work and you're going to have to dig in. And I think they're at that point where, okay, we've been patient with you. We're gonna continue to be patient with you, but now we got to push you. You got to earn this spot. And if you're not going to earn the spot, then the NHL is not an easy thing. You got to keep proving yourself. And I think that's where they're at right now with the young guys. Like you need to step it up. And I always said, like, as a young kid, you got to go out there and show that you're willing to fight. And I don't mean fight and go and punch people and get punched in the face, but I do mean, get your nose dirty. And I think the response, like Evangelista's goal in Washington, he's going to the net. He's in front of the net and he's digging in and his skill came out and he scores a goal. Those are the little things that I think we need to see more of from the young guys. And, they have the leadership. They have O'Reilly, Forsberg, Nyquist. Those guys are digging in and playing great hockey. They need some support, and that's got to come from the young guys.
Talking to Hal Gill this morning here on 102.5 The Game. Hal, now we're starting to see a little separation in the standings, which means, this game tonight, the game Thursday, these are critical games, aren't they?
Yeah, I think Chicago, I was really hoping that they were be a little bit better than they are. But it's really just Bedard trying to do as best he can as an 18-year-old buzzing around out there. Yeah, you got to step on their throats, right? I mean, if you got a team below you, you got to win. You got to get those 2 points because you know how hard it is. And the Preds, like, look at some of their schedule. They had, they're just playing powerhouse after powerhouse, and it was tough sledding. But they found a way to compete in those games, and they got to bring that compete to the lesser teams and step on them. And I think this is a game tonight where Chicago should be beat. I mean, that's not historically the way it's always been, but right now they have a chance to step up, and I think this is a great game for the young guys to say, hey, we're a better team. Let's go and establish dominance and crush these guys.
How much fun has it been covering this team, Hal, this last month with the great wins? I mean, this road trip they were on, getting 3 or 4 points, and the win Saturday was just fantastic. How much fun has it been watching these young guys and these old guys come together?
Yeah, I love the way they play. I love Bruno's style. I love the characters on the team. You know what I mean? They're just fun it makes it easy to root for. And I think the biggest thing, as if I have to talk about these games, whether it's on radio or TV, and they never let you down for too long, right? I think the biggest thing I enjoy about this team is if they do lose a game, they're coming back, and they're going to give you a good performance. They're going to dig in and fight the next game. And so that makes it a lot more fun to follow these guys because they just don't go into those little slumps. And so that combined with, a faster-paced game, more offensive, more risk-taking, but also more speed and more competitiveness. It's fun.
We're talking to Hal Gill, presented by Duncan. And Skillsy, as we get into the new year, this is when the trade winds start to blow and the trade talks happen out there. And Barry Trotz said a couple of weeks ago when he was on with Jared that the players are going to dictate what he does towards the deadline. If he feels like adding something is going to help this team, then he'll look at those options. And if he feels like that it doesn't, then he'll listen and look at other options. If they were to start adding, what is something that you would be looking for this team when it comes to improving them, not only for the now but for the future?
Yeah, I think that's the balance that is going to be tough for Barry Trotz to kind of get through. Bruno and the players, they want to add pieces. You always want to add pieces. You want to put the GM in a position where he says, "Hey, this team's got a chance, to do something. Let's support them. They've been working hard, and like, hey, we need support here. Give us some help." But I don't think Barry Trotz wants to risk the future for a team right now that's not really poised to win the cup. You want to give players to a team, and you want to bring in the rentals, and you want to support all positions when you have a chance to win the cup. And I don't think they're there yet. I think they're competitive, and they could surprise us, and that's the fun part. But I think that secondary scoring, someone that's younger, that's going to be part of the future. If you can find a way to trade for a left winger, a power winger that could play first or second line, I think that's where you got to look for. But that's got to be part of the future. That's got to be someone that you could sign a contract on and figure out. And so there's also the Tyson Barrie thing, where he's injured. There's guys that if they're not part of the future now, then you got to think about moving them. So a lot to consider. I wouldn't want to be Barry Trotz because I think he's on the teetering spot right now where he could go either way.
Hal, a lot of people in this league. Can you call somebody at the Arizona Coyotes and just tell them to stop it, stop playing good, and just go back to being Arizona? Can you do that for us?
It's crazy, isn't it? You know what? It's kind of fun because I feel bad for them. They're playing in that small rank, and although that's cool, I think the luster wears off, and you just want to be on an NHL team and play in an NHL rank and have some certainty in your life, and they just keep plugging wins. So I tip my hat to them. They've gone through a lot, and they've rebuilt that team, but they're having some fun right now. So that's I think there's a lot of teams looking around going, okay, why can't that be us, right? I mean, that's the fun part.
Skillsy, real quick before we let you go, what did you think of the Winter Classic yesterday in Seattle?
You know what? I thought it was awesome. The game itself, like the aesthetics and the way it looked, I thought it was really well done. I'm not quite there. I'm still a little bit of an old curmudgeon, and I just don't want to see guys dressed up every time they go into a game. You know, I'm a little over that. But I think that brings attention to the game and makes it more of a spectacle. So I guess I have to change with the times, I guess. But really cool aesthetic. I thought Seattle did a great job.
Yeah, I thought so too. We will see you tonight at Bridgestone Arena. Predators and Blackhawks. Appreciate it. Happy New Year, Hal.
Happy New Year, guys. Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Hal Gill, presented by Duncan, joins us every Tuesday at 9:30 here on the Chase and Big Joe Show. We're live today at Competitive Edge Strength and Conditioning in Hermitage. We'll be here until 11 o'clock, so come by, say hello, check out this awesome locally owned and operated gym. Plus, you can win some Preds tickets as well as a free membership to Competitive Edge. So definitely come by, sign up for that. Our man Sean is here, and you can see Joe. Maybe he'll sign a book for you.
Maybe I'll do that. We'll talk to the owner, Mark Johnson, coming up next, Chaser.
Yes, we will. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We are live today, Competitive Edge Strength and Conditioning in Hermitage. Come out and see us. This is Big Joe's gym.
He's the best gym around, man.
All the time. And we're joined now by the owner, Mark Johnson, who is with us. Mark, thanks so much for having us today.
Man, thanks for coming out. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, this is obviously it's the first of the year. This is when everybody decides they're going to join the gym.
Oh, yeah. This is our favorite time of the year for sure.
Yeah, and the key is, what do people need to do to actually stay involved in the gym and make it a regular thing.
I like Joe. I'm not a big fan of the word like resolution. I mean, resolutions, they come, they go. We encourage people to make it a lifestyle change. You get in this to stay in this, and that's what the fitness business to me is about. We get people in here. It's a very family-oriented atmosphere. It's kind of an old-school gym. Everybody knows everybody. Some people call it the Cheers gym,
Yeah.
So, when people come in here, they meet a lot of people, and it's almost just like a place to come hang out and work out,
Yeah.
It's a type of gym. I mean, you come in here, you train, you work out. It's old school.
So how many years now have you been here?
We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary.
See, see, a lot of gyms last 6-9 months. They get you married and they head out of town. 10 years. What's the secret to this success?
Just relationships, building relationships with our customers. We have, I think, 8 trainers now, and all the trainers kind of know each other's clients. And when people come in, you're greeted by first name a lot of times. So we're in this really. I got into this business because basically to make an impact on people's lives. That's what this is all about for me.
So I love the whole concept of being like the Cheers gym and everything.
Yeah.
But for somebody like me that is just I'm intimidated whenever I walk in a gym of like, oh, everybody's gonna be staring at me like, look at this idiot, he doesn't know what he's doing, which nobody cares. I know that, but. So how do you kind of help people that may have those jitters when they come in for the first time?
The cool thing is when you walk in this gym, you're going to see people of all ages from all walks of life. And, you walk in, you may see an 80-year-old grandmother in here. So it kind of takes the whole jitters away. I mean, it's not your typical meathead gym per se. You're not going to walk in and see a bunch of big guys slamming weights around. You're going to see people from all walks of life. So you just kind of come in and you just kind of blend in. You know what I mean?
So the one thing about we've talked about this before is the transformation you see in people. I mean, I've lost 60 pounds. This gym's a big thing. I got to think over the years you've seen people walk in this gym with no clue, and then in no time at all, they've dropped 20, 30 pounds and feeling good about themselves.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love about this business. I mean, people come in here. We have people who have never worked out a day in their life. Sometimes it will come in, join the gym. Sometimes they'll get a trainer, sometimes not. And you do. Over time, I pay close attention to people when they come in and just kind of watch their progress over time. And it's very rewarding to see. I actually will have people stop me. Like, I'll see people outside of the gym, and they'll come up and say, man, I was in your gym years ago. I came in there, and I was at a point in my life. I was going through tough times.
Right.
I came in this gym, and this gym just impacted my life in such a positive way. And that gives me the greatest satisfaction when I hear those stories,
Yeah.
Hearing your story, I saw you post on Facebook last night.
Right.
You're going through some tough times, I guess, and you weighed what did you weigh?
331.
331.
And I sent you a text. So I said, hey, I see you have that cardio boxing class. Give me the guy's name. It was Jeremiah, and then next thing you know, I'm addicted to him. I'm addicted to the class. And, I when I miss it, I feel terrible. But it really changed my mental and physical outlook on life because of this place.
Sure. And that's what we love to hear. And the key is just getting your foot in the door. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, just come on in. I mean, if you don't ever make it in the door, you're never going to know.
Correct.
I mean, you get going, you start feeling better, you start having more energy, you look in the mirror, you start looking better.
Yep.
I mean, what can go wrong?
You're exactly right.
I mean, your mental well-being. I mean, you sleep better. I mean, working out is amazing.
And I think, again, to the point, we're talking to Mark Johnson, the owner of Competitive Edge Strength and Conditioning here in Hermitage. I think the other thing is you're in this gym every day, man. I mean, you own this gym. I mean, you care about it. You're here cleaning this gym. I mean, you're here. This is more than just owning a gym, isn't it?
It is. I'm pretty much married to the place. But to be in this business and to do it right, that's what you have to do. And that's the key to being in business for 10 years is being hands-on all the time in the business.
So how can somebody get involved and get a membership? Obviously just walk in, but is there a way they can contact you?
Sure. You can contact us on Facebook. You can always DM us. We answer those fast. Or also our phone number, It's 615-678-7618. You can reach us by phone. But yeah, we'd love to see anybody, come in and join us. I mean, it's like I say, if you're looking for that type of atmosphere, we're here. We love what we do, and you can tell by, when you come in the door.
Yeah, and I love it. I mean, what are your hours too?
So Monday through Friday we're 4:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. and then Saturday we're 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. and then Sunday 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
And you got a key card, so it's not like you got to check in at the front desk.
Right.
Everybody comes and does that and gets it done. And I just think and here's the great thing is when you come in, you just get to work.
That's it.
You just get to work.
That's it.
That is awesome. Now, I know you have to be feeling pretty good about your Vols. I see the UT hat on.
Oh man, what a day yesterday! Seeing Nico step in his starting debut. What a job he did. He stepped in and managed the team well, and they played an awesome game yesterday. I don't think anybody expected that.
Are you a Vols fan that you're ready to hang the banner next year for national championship, or do you still want to temper expectations a little bit?
I've been a Vols fan all my life, so I never say that. I feel like it's a jinx. I don't want to be one of those Vols fans. Every year is the year, So I'm cautiously optimistic. I think we have a good shot at getting in the top 12 next year. I love the new format. If not next year, the following year. So
sure.
I think the future looks bright in Knoxville.
Yesterday was the first bowl game you've missed since when? 1950?
Probably. We've had season tickets for 48 seasons.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey over the years, going up there and going to bowl games and away games. We love our Vols for sure.
It's crazy. It'd be 25 years, I think, tomorrow or the next day, the Fiesta Bowl, the national championship. 25 years.
That doesn't seem possible, man. I was there, and it literally seems like it was 10 years ago. It doesn't seem like it's been 25 years.
That is crazy.
Here's a better question, though. Nico's wearing number 8. Who's the better number 8, Andy Kelly or Nico?
I think it's
Tyler Bray.
Yeah, Tyler Bray. There you go. Yeah.
I'm going Andy Kelly, baby, until I see Nico's full resume.
I think it's to be seen. Which one's going to be? I think Nico is going to be. I think he's going to be amazing. If he stays.
Oh yeah.
All this.
I think he's going to stay.
Yeah.
I think they got it figured out where he'll stay.
Yeah,
so
I think so.
Should be interesting. Mark, thanks so much for having us today and here at Competitive Edge, and everybody needs to come out and see Mark and get a membership and get to feeling better.
We're going to talk to Ty, one of the trainers here at 10:30, who's got clients all over the country virtually and show up here. So it's a good place. Thanks, man. I love this place.
I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you're here, and I just want to wish everyone a Happy New Year.
Perfect.
Happy New Year, indeed. We'll have more coming in hour number 2. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3. The Game live today at Competitive Edge here in Hermitage. Come by and say hello as we're having a good time here at Competitive Edge Strength and Conditioning. We'll be here until 11 o'clock. Got your opportunity to win some Preds tickets and also a free membership here to Competitive Edge. So come by and see us.
Yeah, really good talking to Mark Johnson, the owner, who's been here a while. And that's the key thing, man. 10 years locally owned. Gym's not going anywhere. It's just getting better. But the key is, though, for your resolution in 2024, get off your tail and get busy. You didn't gain weight overnight. Like me, I didn't gain weight overnight. It took a process and lifestyle changes. And next thing you know, you're feeling good about yourself. And you see it all the time. So we want you to have a great journey in 2024 and get off on the right foot.
The Titans will close out their season at Nissan Stadium this Sunday at noon against the Jacksonville Jaguars. It looks like Trevor Lawrence should be able to come back in that game. We'll see about Will Levis if he plays. I was on Fox 17 Sunday night with Jill Jelnick, and she asked me the question of, would you play Will Levis? And you and I may disagree on this. At this point, if he's 98%, I'm sitting him. If he's not 100%, there's nothing. Yeah, there's no point.
Yeah,
you're going to get him hurt.
You changed my mind because I was like, put him out there. But after seeing the beating he took from the Texans on Sunday, and there's really nothing to play for. No, he's good. Sit him down and don't injure him anymore. Man, that was a pathetic performance on Sunday by the Titans. And look, I've covered this team. So they came here in 19. So they made the switch in 1999. 04, there were some bad teams. 05, some bad teams. 15 was bad. 14 was bad. But I'm telling you, man, the effort on Sunday was terrible. I mean, it was terrible. That might have been the worst Titans football game team I've ever seen. And that's saying a lot, man.
Yeah, I mean, they're uninspired. And, I mean, I know there are guys out there trying. I'm not doubting that. But you can just tell that this team is just – they're ready for the season to be over.
Right.
Mike Vrabel is ready for the season to be over. And then you have to go and have difficult conversations and start the evaluation process. I mean, a week from yesterday, I guess, is what they refer to as Black Monday.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens. And, what's funny, Chase, is that you get guys who cover the team every day were like, hey, so-and-so's playing today. I've never heard of this guy. Yeah. I mean, I don't know who this guy is. And, they're sitting this guy down. I don't know who they're going to put in that place. But it's just an abject disaster. But – Sunday, you could for the most part, knock Jacksonville off of I know there's some scenarios where Jacksonville still can get in, but go ahead and beat Jacksonville. Knock down an opponent in your – and look, is this the first time since when they have not won a division game, right? A long time.
Yeah, it's been a very long time. Yeah, so they could go 0-for in the division. I mean, I think they will go 0-for in the division. I don't expect the Titans to win on Sunday. I mean, the only big thing is – that it could be and likely will be the final game of Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry at Nissan Stadium. So that those two are going to have a little something extra to go out there and play for. And I think that the rest of the team is going to rally around that too. So
let me ask you this. You're Ryan Tannehill, right? And I know you want to be a starting quarterback. And you look across the league and you don't get that guarantee of a starting quarterback position. Do you sign here? You come back, your kids are here, you know the town, you know the team, you know the franchise, you know how to get to the stadium. I know that seems kind of dumb, but do you stay at 5 million?
I don't think so.
Think you move on?
I just, the body language from him, what he has said, it just kind of feels like the time's come.
Go back up Mahomes, go back up.
I think he can go start somewhere. I mean, and here's the other thing. There's going to be more of a premium on the backup quarterback position because of what we have seen this year. And so, yes, maybe okay, if that's the case, like if he goes out and he goes to free agency and he has conversations and it's like, hey, we'd bring you in as a backup, well, then I think you circle back and you go to the Titans and go, hey, I'm not finding any starting opportunities. Let's talk. What do you think? Then it would make sense to have a veteran guy like that. But I think in his mind he can still start, and I believe he can still start.
All right, let's go. Let me ask you. All right, Dolphins, no. Bills, no. Jets, no. Patriots, yeah,
maybe.
Who knows?
Depends on the draft.
Ravens, no. Browns, no. Steelers, no.
I'm not going to say Browns, no.
They own Deshaun Watson that money.
I know, but
no,
Joe Flacco's about to take them to the playoffs. So
they're going to give Deshaun Watson every opportunity to be that starting quarterback. No. All right, Jags?
No.
Colts?
No.
Texans?
No.
Chiefs?
No.
Broncos?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I think that's a interesting situation.
Raiders?
I'd say that's a possibility.
You're not starting for the Chargers.
Nope.
Dallas, Philadelphia, nope. Giants paid Daniel Jones all that money. The Washington Commanders.
That's an interesting one.
Now we're talking about Ryan Tannehill. Now you get the Lions, no. Packers, no. Vikings,
maybe.
And the Bears have become quietly good with Justin Fields, so no. Buccaneers, Mayfield's doing fantastic. Saints, are they sold on Derek Carr? I think so. And they're in playoff run. The Falcons.
Look.
There you go.
If Arthur Smith is still the head coach of the Falcons, then go ahead and just write that in, and that's where Tannehill goes.
You got it.
And he's a starting quarterback.
Starting quarterback. You can rely on him. I mean, look, behind that offense this year for Tannehill, it's been terrible. And I know we're hot and cold with him, but he's better than anything the Falcons got right now.
If I told you that I jumped in the DeLorean and I went and looked at next year and I came back and I said, so Ryan Tannehill is the starting quarterback and Derrick Henry is the running back for the Falcons, would you be surprised?
Not at all. Not at all. But for Derrick Henry, though, it would be a 50-50 because you got Bijan Robinson, right?
Yeah, but I think that's
still good.
I think that's what Derrick – that's the situation he's going to go into wherever he goes. If he stays here or if he goes elsewhere – I think the days of him being the bell cow, getting 90% of the carries are gone.
Yeah.
And so, and I think that's fine. So I think that'd be a great situation for him to go and take not have the load and be the 1B to Robinson.
So in the early 90s in fantasy football, there was a running back for the Jets named Brad Baxter. So if you guys played fantasy football back then, you remember Brad Baxter, he would have a game, his stat line would be 5 carries, 8 yards, 3 touchdowns. You could not stop him inside the 5-yard line. You could not stop Brad. Now, he's not going to break up a 20-yard run. So why not let Derrick Henry go and be that guy when you get inside the 5 and you got a 3rd and 1. Let him do that and get behind a decent offensive line. If I'm Derrick Henry, I would love that opportunity. If the Falcons presented that opportunity, nice little payday for you. You come in, you're not getting the ball 20, 25 times a game, but you're contributing and you're scoring touchdowns. I think that's a win-win for whatever team picks up Derrick Henry.
I agree. So
you better agree.
I think that's just the big storyline, for this week of the end of the road for some of these guys. And then the other question is, when we sit here at this time next Tuesday, is Mike Vrabel the head coach of the Tennessee Titans? I say yes. I believe he will be.
Oh, man, I don't know. I cannot answer that because I don't know how, you see, who thought they were going to fire John Robinson mid-season last year? Nobody did, right? Nobody did.
I just think, look, if she wants to move on, that's her prerogative, talking about Amy Adams-Strunk, but I wouldn't fire him. I would at least look around and talk. Like if you're thinking, all right, I'm ready to move on, then call Robert Kraft and talk to him first.
Yeah.
And if he's willing to do business, then you do business and you get something for him. I think just firing him before having those conversations is the wrong move.
Oh, I totally agree. I totally have that conversation.
And if he comes to you and he says, look, Amy, I think I've put everything I can into this team. I don't think it's working anymore. Maybe we need to go ahead and part ways. I think Robert's interested in me. Would you be willing to talk to him?
Yeah,
but it goes back to what I have said all along, that those two have to have a sit-down, one-on-one. Rand doesn't need to be involved in that. Eventually, Mike and Rand need to have a sit-down, but he needs to have the conversation with Amy Adams-Strunk, and it needs to be, okay, are you 100% in? Do you really want to be here? Do you want to see this through? Because you're rebuilding. Whether you want to or not, this is a rebuild.
Oh, it is. So he's been there 6 years, playoff 3, not playoff 3. I mean, so you look at what he's done so far. And look, in 18 they didn't make it, 19 AFC Championship game, 20 had everything sitting in front of him and didn't get it done. 21, same way. And then it's now been trending downward in a quick and very bad way the last couple of years. And so you'll see what's the plan, what's going forward. I mean, the evaluation was terrible this year with the offensive line. So there's a lot of blame to go around here. I mean, so does Vrabel want to stick here? And I told you, man, my coaching thing is stay one step ahead of the jailer. You come back, you got 1 year left. If you work a deal out and you go to the Patriots, you got a 5-year deal. You're going home to where you had great success, and then the Titans say, hey, thank you for everything, and move on. But, yeah, the fact is he's still under contract here, and if he's going to leave and the Patriots want him, well, they're going to pay a nice price to take him.
615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Adam in Portland wants to weigh in. Adam, what's up?
Hey, man. Hey, Joe, so last year, man, real quick before I get into it, the first year I ever hit my New Year's resolution, I know you don't like that word, but it was I did for 20 years, man. I was like, I'm not doing it anymore. So I woke up and I did. And so this year I was trying to figure it out. I'm a fat guy. So I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm going to get it this year or not. And then I see your Facebook post. I'm like, dude, I'm getting after it. So I'll try to keep you up to date, man. But we're gonna run through this with you right quick, man. We're gonna try to anyway. So real quick, you guys. But I'm sitting here watching that bowl game yesterday, and I'm telling you, like, seeing the game on Sunday and then turning around and seeing the Vols play the way they did on Monday, it's incredible. Like, the difference in emotion. Like, I need good medication, like, to be able to sustain, like, all these ebbs and flows of Tennessee sport teams, man. Like, I need 8 months to get here. Like, I'm so excited about the ball. I've never been this excited about the balls and, like, about a quarterback. Not only was it the throws, like, I don't get as excited about 4 touchdowns whenever I know that, a lot of it was legs. I'm like, but when you see how he did it, I feel like he's just he doesn't look like a freshman. He looked like a really smart quarterback. The Titans suck so bad that I feel like I need the Vols to be that good right now, and I think they're going to be that good. Happy New Year.
Adam, let me ask you this, because you're a big fan, like you mentioned. Adam hung up. I was going to ask him about if he's fired up about watching Derrick Henry, if that's his motivation to watch Derrick Henry at, potentially his last game as a Titan, because I think that's what a lot of people are going to hang on to.
Did you the last game I went to with my brother, they played the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And I was really intrigued why they announced the defense and not Derrick Henry. You said because he thought people would boo Tannehill?
Maybe, yeah.
I just thought it was odd.
It is odd, but yeah, that's kind of but now I bet they introduced the offense first.
They should, and let Tannehill and Henry go out.
I think people, I was wrong on that. I think people will appreciate Tannehill. I hope.
No, it's a good point. I don't know. Again, people around me are asking, why are they introducing the defense? Because, like, 8 of those guys nobody ever heard of.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you doing this? Why not get the biggest round of applause for Derrick Henry and get people fired up about something? Because there's not a whole lot to be fired up about. So, again, just a crazy, just a kind of a bizarre season for the Titans and everything that went on. And that's just a small – look, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but still, it's a small thing of, like, why not just introduce him to get him up and get him going? And also, it's funny, on Sunday I was like, hey – people got fired up over this, Chase. I said, hey, the Titans' worst performance I've ever seen. I said, oh, by the way, there's a $2.5 billion stadium coming down the pike. And people went off on me. Like, why do you equate the new stadium with a bad football team? But don't we naturally do that?
Yeah, sure.
Isn't that what
if I'm an owner, let's talk about this more coming up next.
Okay.
Because I think it's a really interesting point that you brought up. Chase and Big Joe are live today. Competitive Edge Strength and Conditioning in Hermitage. We'll be here until the end of the show. Locally owned and operated gym. You can also win some Breads tickets as well as a free membership here to Competitive Edge. So come by and say hello. Chase and Big Joe, presented by Regal Realty Group, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
Hey, my friends, Big Joe here again, talking about Middle Tennessee's best health care in the comfort of your own home. I'm talking about Medical House Calls, where the nearest clinic is your home. The website, medicalhousecalls.com. Look, no more heading to an urgent care. No more sitting in a waiting room. No more driving across town. You're going to have board-certified nurse practitioners and physician's assistants come to you. Don't take my word. Just read the numerous fantastic reviews that Medical House Calls has gotten. It is a game changer. In fact, Chuck McDowell was a client. He loved the service so much, he bought the company. And for years, I had to leave work to check on my mom when she was sick. They could have Medical House Calls check in on your loved ones to make sure everything and everyone is okay. That's how wonderful Medical House Calls is. Simply visit the website today, medicalhousecalls.com.
Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game. We're live today, Competitive Edge, Strength and Conditioning in Hermitage. Come by and see us, locally owned and operated gym, Big Joe's Gym.
The best gym.
I'm looking for that giant picture of you hanging in here.
It's in the locker room.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Just to let you know what you're striving for to achieve.
You have your arms crossed?
I do have arms crossed, yeah. But I got my shredded Hulk Hogan shirt on, too, as well. No, but seriously, this is a great place to work out. We know we all got our resolutions going. And, look, man, this is a gym you walk in, you just get to work. I mean, great people here. They're willing to help. I mean, there's no like we talk about the pizza party you find at other gyms, which is just mind-boggling. You just come and get to work, man, and you change your life, and it happens, and I'm a prime example of that. Yeah, let's get back to what we were talking about a second ago, man.
Yeah, so with the Titans and the new stadium, and you said you got blown up on Twitter about it, which, I mean, look,
I loved
tweet
it.
anything nowadays, and, you know, people
Well,
yell
it's
at you.
Facebook, too, as well. The thing was, I put out there, I was like, it was a pathetic performance by the Titans. Pathetic performance, and, oh, by the way, you get to pay for that stadium coming down. I'll just throw it in there. And some people just took umbrage with me with that. They were like, how does that? And then they said, well, the Cowboys weren't good, and when they built AT&T Stadium. And I'm thinking, don't you compare the Cowboys to the Titans
and Jerry
franchise.
Jones was mad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they weren't bad. I mean, they had Romo at that point.
So. No, they weren't. But
yeah,
it was just kind of throw it out there like is this what you want to see in your new stadium?
Yeah, like
no, you don't.
Here's my thing: if I'm an owner, and it's just like your house, okay? So you buy a house and you maintain your house, and maybe you after a few years you update it and you renovate and all these things. You're not necessarily planning to sell your house.
No.
But you always want to keep up with the trends and keep the value rising up in case that, you ever decide to sell your house or somebody comes along and they offer you money for your house that you just can't refuse. It's the same way with a football team.
Right.
I can always hear Steve Underwood saying the team is not for sale.
Right.
Well, guess what? Everything is always for sale for the right price.
Yeah.
And if I'm Amy Adams Strunk, and I know that I've gotten this stadium now, and I'm putting money into it, and the state's putting money into it, and the league and all that stuff, and they're investing, and that's going to lead to Super Bowls and college football playoffs and Final Fours and WrestleManias and things like that. Well, that's going to up the value of my team.
Sure.
So when I open that stadium, though, I don't want to have a 2-15 football team to open that stadium. You got time to fix it, but I think they certainly do correlate with each other because
of course they do.
You want to open that stadium and be competing to win a Super Bowl because guess what you're going to host in the first 3 years of that stadium? A Super Bowl.
You hope. If you don't,
I think you will.
If you don't, there's something else. By the way, this real estate moment brought to you by Chase McCabe and Regal Realty Group.
There you go. Proud sponsor of the Chase and Big Joe Show.
So we'll do that. No, I'm with you. And a new look. I always tell people the most important game the Titans ever played Nissan Stadium was that opening game versus the Browns.
Yeah.
Because they won 36-35. Del Greco kicks a field goal back in 1999. That kind of set the tone for everything, And it was the team, kind of catapulted from there. And went on and goes Super Bowl that year. But they went into that season at 8-8. They had a lot of momentum. The last 3 seasons before that, 96, 97, 98, they were 8-8, but they had momentum and they were building and it was exciting. And so you want to see that when you go in the new stadium. But I get the frustrations and and the saying that has no correlation with the two. I understand all that, but you want to feel good going to that new stadium.
Here's my thing, too. Adam in Portland, who just called, weighs in. Again, he says, sorry, Chase, absolutely couldn't care less to watch the game, man. We love Derek, but the train is so far off the tracks that I'm just ready to see changes now. By Vrabel, come on draft. Let's get Levis protection and be passionate about this team again. Then he says, fire the coach and every coach in the building and beg Jim Schwartz to come back and be the head coach.
Jim Schwartz ain't doing it.
I want to say this, too. I don't know if every fan base is like this because I'm locked into this fan base and, all of you that call and text in. But I feel like Nashville has such an obsession with anybody that's ever played or worked here that we got to bring them back because it's familiar.
Right.
That's what we know. Right. And it's like, look, Jim Schwartz did a fantastic job as the defensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans in the late 2000s. He wasn't a very good head coach. Now, some of that's not on him, but it, I look at the franchise he was with, so I'll give you that. But I don't know if he would work as being a head coach here. There are a lot of other options out there that I think are good options. Let's just be more open-minded and not have to always bring somebody back that
I agree.
Was here before.
But, always you think about them. You think about the good times. I understand the thinking of that, too.
And I'm not picking on you, Adam. I'm just, you gave me an opportunity to make a point.
Look who's on the line.
Let's go to the line.
Yeah.
615-737-1025. Kenny the Mailman weighing in on the Chase and Big Joe Show. What's up, Kenny?
Happy New Year, dear friends.
Happy New Year.
I wanted to get something perfectly straight, okay, because I'm in the car right now. Did y'all just announce come down to the gym and go 3 rounds with Joe Dubin?
Yes. Yep.
I have my ceremonial autographed Tex Cobb gloves. I am on my way. For all these years of these cheap, low-down imitations, you're going to pay.
Well, you come down here and you're going to find out what an uppercut means.
Well,
I'm going to give you the 1-2 banana to the head.
No, I got a postal special delivery for you.
Uh-oh.
How much money could we raise just getting out there and dancing a little bit?
Oh, a lot of money. I danced really good back at Club La Vela in Panama City back in the day, so we can raise a lot of money.
You announced it, and I have a slow car. I don't know if I can get there in time, but that put a smile on my face.
Oh, you're the best, Kenny.
I wanted to mention about the offensive line because we're talking about people think you can just sort of sprinkle some magic dust and draft a couple of guys and it's all solved. That is the most unique group of athletes, really, in any field. You need 8 guys, competent guys that can play, but also play with each other, almost like these huge rockets. They take every step together. They know what everyone's thinking. Even if they draft 3 guys, by 2, 24 practices together is not enough to raise this level of incompetence. They had 20 plays Sunday where they were playing 6 offensive linemen. And it didn't matter.
I think you make a really good point, Kenny. I mean, and that's something that. Thanks for the call. That's something D-Mase has said for years that the players gave up too much practice time. But I think it's true.
Did you know this? And I know we're going to talk to one of the trainers here coming in a moment. But I did not know. Joe Fisher told us on the bowl game that Auburn, once the season started, never tackled.
Really?
They tackled dummies. They never They never did live tackling.
Oh.
They never did live tackling.
That's where it's going.
And so
that's where it's going.
It's just something that's blew my mind. And so now, but then, again, evaluate talent. And so here's the thing. You'll never take an offensive line for granted again.
No.
Never.
No.
You've for years we've told you, and nobody cares about the offense, and nobody cares. The only time, you hear offensive linemen when they have a holding call. No, you know what? It's the backbone of you got a good offensive line, you can have a pretty good football team.
Somebody on the text line said, "Get Jim Harbaugh." I don't
coming here.
I don't think he would come here. Now, I will contend that when you look at jobs that could be open, which I don't think this one's going to be open, but if it were, the Chargers, when it comes to an established quarterback, that's the best one because they have the quarterback. Could you not make the argument that if you're a Jim Harbaugh, to have the opportunity to develop Will Levis, that wouldn't be appealing if you have the offensive line?
Who's got a better roster right now?
The Chargers.
Yeah, you go to Los Angeles Chargers. You go out and do that and live out there, and you got Herbert and you got good receivers. I mean, it's going to be a while to rebuild this football
team. If he
team.
leaves to Michigan, he's going to the Chargers.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be the best. That's going to be the best job.
He took Michigan to the promised land. You're right.
Yep.
All right, buddy.
Just a stat nugget before we head to break.
Sure.
The Tennessee Titans, since their name changed in '99 up to now, they've won one divisional game, like between Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and the last one's escaping me for some reason.
Texans.
The Texans. Thank you. They've won one game every year since '99. So this could be the first year where they don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lots to play for. Thank you there, Dr. Crane. All right, coming up next, we'll talk to one of the best personal trainers, in my opinion, that you will find anywhere and tell you how to get motivated and how to change your life today. Coming up next year because we're live at Competitive Edge. Through the training in Hermitage, Chase.
Yes, we are. That's more coming. 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game. We're live at Competitive Edge. Strength and conditioning in Hermitage today as we open the new year. A lot of people going to the gym maybe for the first time or getting back into it.
And the thing is not knowing what to do.
Yes, which is my problem. So this could be good for me.
Yeah, so it's welcoming Ty Fischler. He's a trainer here at Competitive Edge, one of the best around. You got clients. Look, I come to this gym sometimes 6 in the morning, you're here. I'll come back at 6 at night, you're here. Do you ever leave?
You know what, man? Sometimes. and sometimes meaning that I have a chance to go home for maybe an hour and see my wife and kids and come back and do it again. But the other times, I'm here. I'm here all day. I'm back-to-back with sessions and clients all day and being here in the gym with everybody. But it's awesome. I mean, you're right. Some days I don't leave this place, but I love it every single day. And you hang out with a bunch of good people in here, and you just have fun with it, you know. A lot of good people in here.
And my guess is you have clients from all walks of life that have been working out their whole life, and they're just looking for different advice maybe, and then you have people that have probably never picked up a weight and have no idea what to do.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
How do you work with different types of people?
You know, it's I've been doing this for about 20 years now, and it's a trial and error. You learn over the years and through education and with the people that you get in front of, and it's learning. It's learning the techniques, and it's learning, just like you said, you got the people that come in here and they just need the accountability. They might know what's in the gym. They might know how to work out, but they need somebody in here waiting for them, right? And those people they're walking a different line. They come in here and they work out really hard. And then, like you said, too, then you got the other person that goes, I've never been in a gym. I've never had a personal trainer. This place scares me to death because I've never physically walked in a gym. So you kind of have to cater to that person just a little bit differently and get them comfortable in the gym. And then those people are the fun people that you see, because then they kind of blossom. They come in here, they're scared. They're, oh, my gosh, there must be a bunch of muscle heads and meat heads in here. And they come in here and go, huh.
Right.
It's not like that, right? And they come in here and they see the people that are just like them, and they see the people walking the same journey and the same walk, and the friendships and stuff that are created like that. That's the fun part you get to see.
We've talked about this with you. I have with you a lot of times. Accountability, man. If you don't show up, you're calling.
Yeah.
You're calling.
Yeah, and that's the big thing I think that I've been known for over the years is that I just don't let you slip through the cracks.
Sure.
You know, if you don't show up for a session, two things happen, right? One thing is that you get a text or phone call going, hey, where are you at? You know, and then two, my big thing is trying to find somewhere else on my schedule to put that person, because I don't want that workout not to happen, right? The big thing is to get the person in here, to get the workout, to get the results, because that's the person that's going to change the development, and that keeps coming back, right? So, yeah, the accountability factor is what sets people in the gym, because that's what they want, right?
It is. We're talking to Ty Fischler, one of the trainers here at Competitive Edge Strength and Training. Why do you like your job? Why do you like this gym?
The key word, it's not a job.
Oh.
Man, it's not a job. I think a job is something that you come to every day and you call the job. You call it I have to get up and I have to do the same thing, and it's Groundhog's Day and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't work a day in my life, man. You know, I come in here, I hang out with a bunch of cool people. We run a fantastic gym here, and the atmosphere. I get to hang out with cool clients all day long, you know, and everyone, like I said, is on a different journey. It's just fun, man. I love this place. I love what I do.
How many times do you run into somebody that, you know, the intimidation factor, but they come in and they think that, all right, I got to become Hulk Hogan. Like, I got to look like that. Whereas their realistic expectations are not to have a six-pack and be just to get in shape and to look good for them. How do you kind of start that process of having a person think, hey, let's just get you to be what you can be?
You know, sometimes you do have that person that comes in and they're ready to bat 100, right? They're ready to come in and I want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger and I want to do this and I want 7 days a week and 13-hour days. Like, you kind of have to gear people in the right direction going, it doesn't just happen overnight, you know? And a lot of people think that there's some magic pill or there's some special workout routine that you can do to look like Arnold by tomorrow, and it's not like that. So it's just about catering to the reality of working out, of the steps and the baby steps that you have to do to get where we want to go, right? And getting people programmed into, there's 3 basic functions. There's your diet, and there's your cardio, and then there's your workouts, right? Once you kind of get all those things on the right track and doing them correctly, then we start pushing them. Then we start taking them to the next level. But sometimes you got to pump the brakes. You know, people come in here and they burn out, like the New Year's resolution people. I'm going to come in, I'm going to work out. It's 2024. I'm sore and I don't come back. Right? We don't want that, right? We want to gradually go into this and slowly take baby steps and let people know, hey, you are going to be sore, but I'm going to see you tomorrow, right?
Sure.
And it's catering to everybody, you know, and pumping the brakes when you need to, going, you're not going to be Arnold tomorrow, maybe a year from now or 6 months from now, and just creating that reality. That's all it is.
And you've seen some amazing transformations. I mean, one of your clients, Nan, who walked in here, I mean, she'll admit overweight, vastly overweight.
Yeah.
You would not recognize her from day one to what she is now. But it's commitment, and it's a lot of you, Ty.
You know, it is, and it's learning that person, you know, and not just being your personal trainer. You know, it's becoming a friend. It's becoming, you know, that person that is always here waiting for you no matter what, you know. And when you get somebody committed like Nan, you know, it's fun. And you see the transformation, and other people see transformation. And I lost 100 pounds, and I went to the next step, and we went to a show, and we got her part of a competition. She did great during the competition. And seeing stuff like that, it creates that, you know, reality of people going, well, maybe I can do it, you know. And stories like that, I mean, who wouldn't want to be part of that? You know, it's fun to watch and be part of.
Ty Fischler is with us now. In you know, working with people here, have you found anybody that the Titans could call to fix the offensive line? Because you know, we're trying to help them out here.
I know you and I were just talking about that before we jumped on here. I wish. I'm getting ready to give them my number. I'm number 9. I've always been I wish we could, because I know, being a huge Titans fan, I know we've been in a position to where we could use some help. I would love to train somebody to give them to be their next superstar, but you know, nobody in here right now. I wish yet. We're looking for the next one, right?
Somebody told me one time, it's like, you come here and do a great workout, everything, but you can't outrun a bad diet.
Ooh,
is that right?
That's correct. You know, I always say you always wear what you eat, right? You always wear what you eat, yeah. And you can't outrun a bad diet. You can come in here and be crazy in the gym and go superstar, but then when you leave these doors, it's all about what you do outside these doors. That's the other part of the journey. And you come in here and you see this person just killing it in the gym, but then you really look at it going, man, you ain't losing the weight, man. If not, you're looking bigger in all the wrong places. You can't outrun a bad diet, man. That's what it's all about. It's 95% of the game.
Right.
It's what you eat, how you eat, and then when you eat.
Are you still seeing the effects from COVID on people?
Yes,
as far as weight loss, not COVID itself, but just the people not going to the gym and putting on the COVID pounds and all that.
Yeah, I mean, somewhat, you know, and I hate to say this was more of an excuse, but I mean, you hear people from time to time that, you know, they get a little timid of, oh my gosh, well, it's still going around, or I don't want to get sick in the gym. But honestly, not a lot. Not a lot. And if I do hear it, I try to kind of.
Well, not so much on that, but like I put on 20 pounds because I couldn't work out and all that, you know, you know, because of COVID. And that was a great excuse. A lot of people like, I didn't go. I mean, I put on weight. We all put on weight during that. But, I mean, it's like I tell people, you didn't get overweight overnight. You know, I mean, so you got to make that commitment to get there and change your life.
Right. Yeah. You know, sometimes I think people are still using that, but it's been long enough to where it's hard for them to use that anymore. I mean, it's like you said, you don't put it down overnight. You don't put it on through the 9 weeks we were out of the gym. I mean, it's just something that it's not being heard of. I mean, you don't really say that anymore.
I want to be on the ending of one. I want to hear one of your phone calls if somebody doesn't show up, because I mean, it's not, you don't take it personal, but look, you're on this journey with them, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm sitting here waiting for you and I'm twiddling my thumbs and one, that no call, no show, it's the next session's not going to be pretty, you know. And I think a lot of people are they understand that, and it's because I want you here. I can't change and develop you if you're not actually here in the gym. You can't do anything by sitting on the seat of your couch,
right?
You know.
You've been doing this now for a while. I mean, you're such a successful trainer, and you got so many clients. Do you ever pinch yourself and like, thank you, Lord?
Oh my gosh, every day. Every day when I see that success story walk through the door, every day when people generally and look at you and say, man, thank you. you know, and
Yeah.
that's like winning the lotto for me. You know,
That's
every time
awesome.
I get something like that, it's just a reminder of going, I'm in the right place. God has me here doing this for number one reason, you know, and it's just I'm blessed every day. I mean, like I said, I'm repeating myself. I hang out with such cool people.
Yeah, you do.
I got such
Like him?
Yeah, like Joe. You know, I get to see him here, and he's killing it in the gym, and that's huge for me, you know. And when you see people be successful, it makes you successful.
Sure.
Right.
Ty, thank you, brother. Thank the world of you, man. Appreciate
Absolutely,
you.
man. Appreciate you guys.
Ty
Yes, sir.
Fischler joining us here at Competitive Edge. Appreciate him. Hey, right now, if you want to win a 4-pack of tickets to see the Nashville Predators take on the Anaheim Ducks on January 9th at Bridgestone Arena, be caller number 5, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. Caller number 5 will win that 4-pack of tickets to see the Preds and the Ducks at January 9th at Bridgestone Arena. Coming up next, we'll put a bow on things with celebrity birthdays. Chasing Big Joe, presented by Regal Realty Group, 1025, 1063, The Game. Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game. I think this is appropriate. Get physical to start the new year.
It is.
We're live at Competitive Edge. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier, is at the Spring Hill Heating and Cooling Game Nashville studios, keeping your home feeling comfortable all year round. Visit springhillac.com for more information. Really appreciate Competitive Edge for having us out here today. If you are interested in a membership and getting involved, obviously you can stop by here. Joe, what's the address?
3317 Lebanon Pike, Lebanon Road, whatever, in Hermitage on the corner of Central Pike, and come in and get your life changed. Look, I'm telling you, changed my life being committed to the gym mentally and physically. And I've heard from others as well. We talked to Ty. You hear the great trainer Ty Fischler talk about it too. So we want you to get involved and have a great, healthy year.
You can also give them a call, 615-678-7618. And check them out on Facebook as well, Competitive Edge, Strength and Conditioning. So it's been a lot of fun to be here today. And with that, let's get to celebrity birthdays.
All right, here we go. Celebrity birthdays, America's favorite game. It's very simple how you play this. You got with celebrity, you got to guess their age within 2 years on either side. So we can do this. All right, you guys ready? Dr. Crane, you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, first up, the birthday today is actress from Beverly Hills 90210. She played Andrea Zuckerman, Gabrielle Carteris. Today's her birthday.
52.
58.
She is 63
okay.
years old. So there's days I feel old, but then when I see – but that means that show came out in 1990. She was 30.
So which one was she?
She was the librarian, the kind of the nerdy one,
okay, yeah,
the one that she had the secret crush on Brandon on.
Yeah.
That's
well, who didn't?
True. Actress Tia Carrera, she was in Wayne's World.
Yeah. Man, again, that's like the same era. I'm gonna say like 53.
I'm going to stick with the same number, 58.
57. Dr.
Nice.
Crane, well done, buddy.
Smart.
You know your Wayne's World actresses.
Thank you.
Model Christy Turlington.
Can you give me a era?
Today's her birthday.
Thanks.
You bet.
Yeah, big help. 48. I have no idea.
54.
55. Dr. Crane's up 2-0. Starting the new year off on a good foot. Actor Taye Diggs.
Taye Diggs is this is always tough. I'm going to say 56.
63.
What'd you say, Chase?
56.
53.
Just off.
53.
So it's 2-0?
2-0. That's right. We got a little bit more going on here. We got more. Here we go here. Let's see. Actor Dak Shepard.
I don't know who that is either.
He's married to, he does all the, he was on Punk'd with Justin Timberlake for a little bit. He's doing a bunch of stuff. I can't remember right now.
44.
49.
49 exactly. 3-0. Rolling through here. So good job here. Let's speed this up. We got a lot of birthdays on January the 2nd here. Let's speed this up today. Okay, Jack Hanna, TV host. Remember Jack Hanna?
Yeah. 71.
75.
77. And with that, 4-0. Dr. Crane wins. Dr. Crane takes it.
Thank you.
Dr. Crane, well done on this today.
Thank you.
Good job, Dr. Crane. We're all very proud of you.
Trying to juggle things behind the board here. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah,
you did fine.
No,
I know you're busy. There you go.
We're all juggling. That is for sure. What do we got tonight? Nashville Predators in action tonight. Back at Bridgestone Arena
versus the Blackhawks. Big game.
Yeah, I think they need to. I know that's what Andrew Burnett wants to see them put some consistency together. And then they're going to be on the road for a lot of this month too. So take advantage of the home games before you hit the road again. And, see if you can start putting some points together. And then Barry Trotz will be, as Hal Gill said earlier, in that position that nobody envies of trying to figure out what you want to do trade-wise and roster-wise moving forward.
Yeah, you're right. And so it's a big week. I mean, we got the Titans last game and then national championship in a week there. So 2024 is off on a good foot so far.
Yeah, and the Titans, Mike Vrabel will speak today at noon, I believe, and so we'll see what he has to say. As I guess this would be his usual Monday press conference.
This is like some of the fastest football season ever.
It has flown by.
I mean, I remember in the car, Chip Walters going to call the MTSU Alabama game, and now it's that's 4 months ago. I mean, it's just over and gone by so fast.
I was thinking about that too, of like you starting that and go through the season, and now Derek Mason is at MTSU.
Right.
Coach Stock is out, and it's just crazy to think about all that's happened in a short amount of time.
It just flies by, man. It's so quick. Hey, as we leave you, this message, we're going to double down on it in 2024 for all of our guys out there. We did this last year. Again, if you are struggling and you need to talk to somebody, please go talk to somebody, or you can call 988. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, reach out to us, reach out to a friend, and do something. We want you here. We need you here. You are irreplaceable. Nobody can do what you can do. And know that you are loved. And, again, we want you here, and our world's a better place because you are here.
Amen to that. As 2024 is we're all off to a new start, a fresh start, and you can do it by coming to Competitive Edge.
Yes.
If you want to, and get your life together.
Love it.
Get in shape. That is for sure. That'll do it for us. We're back at it tomorrow at 9. Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase from Bridgestone Arena coming up next. 102.5, 106.3, The Game.